Deep in the Andromeda Galaxy's outer rim, the Zexte research vessel Luminous Seeker drifted through an unremarkable solar system. Chief researcher Vex studied the primitive planet below through crystalline sensors, disappointment evident in her bioluminescent patterns. Another dead end in their search for the mythical first species. Nothing but basic carbon-based life forms, she reported to her crew. No signs of intelligent development. After 3 decades of searching, they had yet to find any trace of the legendary elder race that supposedly seeded the galaxies with life. The ship's warning systems suddenly blared. Beneath the planet's surface, something massive was awakening. Ancient machinery, dormant for millions of years, hummed to life. Geometric patterns of light spread across the continents like circuitry coming online. Impossible energy readings, second researcher Tesalon called out, his tentacles writhing in agitation. The power output exceeds anything in our database. A transmission pierced their most sophisticated encryption, as if it didn't exist. "Attention, unidentified vessel," a calm voice spoke in perfect Zexte. "This is Guardian Station Eden. Your presence has triggered emergency protocols. Please maintain position." Before Vex could respond, space itself seemed to fold. A massive structure phased into existence beside them, a gleaming station of impossible architecture that somehow existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Their sensors couldn't even begin to comprehend its composition. A human figure appeared on their bridge, wearing simple cloth garments despite the vacuum of space. "I am Administrator Chen," she said with a gentle smile. "Welcome to one of humanity's seed worlds." The crew stared in shock. Humans were a primitive species barely capable of lunar travel, yet this being radiated power beyond comprehension. "You've been searching for the first species," Chen continued. "We've been watching your quest with great interest, but I'm afraid you've been looking in the wrong direction. Humanity didn't emerge recently. We were the first." She gestured and holographic displays materialized, showing vast networks of hidden human outposts spanning multiple galaxies. "We achieved technological singularity millions of years ago, but we learned that flaunting advanced technology often does more harm than good, so we chose to hide, to guide younger species subtly while maintaining the appearance of primitives ourselves." "But why reveal yourselves now?" Vex asked. Chen's expression grew grave. "Because the greatest threat this universe has ever faced is awakening. The very dark. Beings from outside our reality that feed on entire galaxies. We've held them back for eons, but they grow stronger. The time has come for all species to unite." The station's sensors detected hundreds of ships emerging from fold space, representatives of other young civilizations drawn here by humanity's call. Their masquerade was ending, not by choice but by necessity. "Your people are ready," Chen said. "You've developed the wisdom to handle what comes next." The Zexte's pursuit of knowledge rather than power proved that. "Now, let me show you what humanity has been preparing for all these millennia." As Vex followed Chen deeper into the impossible station, she realized that every assumption her civilization had made about technological progress and their place in the universe was about to change. The first species had been hidden in plain sight all along, patiently waiting for the younger races to mature. And now, a new chapter in galactic history was about to begin. The Nexus archives on Centauri Prime held secrets that defied explanation. Junior archivist Valdera traced her fingers across ancient texts, her bioluminescent markings pulsing with excitement. After months of research, she had discovered patterns in seemingly primitive human art that suggested impossible technological advancement. Her mentor, senior archivist Zexthor, dismissed her findings. "Humans barely mastered spaceflight a century ago. These cave paintings are merely primitive attempts at recording their history." But Valdera knew better. The geometric patterns hidden in prehistoric art matched perfectly with quantum computational matrices. The ancient humans hadn't been drawing stars. They had been recording multidimensional equations. Her research station's proximity alerts suddenly activated. A small vessel had appeared in orbit, its design unlike anything in their databases. Its hull seemed to shift between states of matter, simultaneously solid and energy. "Impressive work, Archivist Valdera." A voice echoed through the archive chamber. A human woman materialized before them, wearing simple robes that rippled with impossible colors. "Few have noticed our hidden messages so quickly." "Containment breach," Zexthor shouted, reaching for the security controls. But with a wave of her hand, the human froze all technology in the room. "I am Curator Sarah Chin," she said, "and it's time you learned the truth about those cave paintings." Holographic displays erupted around them, showing vast networks of ancient human installations hidden throughout the galaxy. Each seemingly primitive art piece was actually a key designed to activate when discovered by species advanced enough to comprehend their true meaning. "We left breadcrumbs throughout history," Chen explained, "waiting for younger races to evolve the scientific understanding needed to recognize them. Your quantum insight proved your readiness." Valdera's markings flashed with revelation. The recent awakening of dormant technology across the galaxy. That was humanity's doing. Chen nodded. "We've maintained these facilities for millions of years, guiding species development while appearing primitive ourselves. But now we face a threat that requires unity." The archives transformed around them, revealing a vast chamber filled with impossible machinery. "This is one of our smaller facilities," Chen said. "We've been preparing for an invasion from beings that exist outside normal spacetime. The very dark grows stronger, and we need allies who understand both technology and wisdom." More ships appeared in orbit, other species drawn by humanity's awakening technology. The time for secrecy was ending. As Valdera absorbed the truth about humanity's ancient legacy, she realized that every history book would need to be rewritten. The first species had been watching, waiting, and preparing all along. And now, the galaxy's younger races would need to quickly come to terms with humanity's true nature if they hoped to survive what was coming. "Your research wasn't just academic," Chen told her. "It was a test, and you passed. Now let me show you what humanity has really been working on all these millennia." As Valdera followed Chen deeper into the facility, she understood that she stood at the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history. The humble humans weren't latecomers to the cosmic community. They were its ancient guardians, and their greatest challenge still lay ahead. Grand Admiral Kexthor of the United Species Fleets stared in disbelief at the sensor readings from Earth's solar system. What appeared to be primitive orbital stations were transforming, revealing themselves as vast technological complexes that defied known physics. "Multiple dimensional anomalies detected," his science officer reported, mandibles clicking nervously. "The humans are unfolding their installations. They exist in more dimensions than we can perceive." The emergency council meeting had brought together representatives from 30 younger species, all drawn by humanity's sudden revelation of their true nature. The Sol system was now crowded with ships from across the galaxy, watching in awe as humanity's masquerade ended. A human vessel approached, if it could be called that. It seemed to exist in a state of quantum flux, simultaneously there and not there. Admiral Sarah Chen materialized on their bridge, wearing what looked like a simple uniform that somehow bent light around it. "The Guardian Protocol has been fully activated," she announced. "We can no longer maintain our disguise. The very dark has begun its invasion." Holographic displays materialized, showing vast regions of space at the galaxy's edge simply disappearing. Not being destroyed, being erased from existence itself. "We've held them back for millions of years," Chen explained. "Humanity achieved technological singularity long ago, but we learned that raw power wasn't enough. We needed allies who understood the importance of unity and wisdom. That's why we've guided your development, waiting for the right moment." She gestured, and the bridge transformed around them. They now stood in a vast command center within what had appeared to be Earth's moon. But the lunar surface was merely camouflage for something far more extraordinary. "This is the heart of the Guardian Network," Chen said. one of countless facilities we've maintained while playing the role of primitives. But the very dark grows stronger. They feed on reality itself, and are hungry. More alerts flashed. 3 Meridian outposts at the galaxy's edge had vanished, along with entire sectors of space. The darkness was spreading faster than ever before. Why didn't you stop them sooner? Kex Thor demanded. With your level of technology. Because technology alone isn't enough, Chen interrupted. The very dark can't be defeated by force. They exist outside conventional reality. Fighting them requires something more. A unified consciousness, a collective will strong enough to rewrite the laws of physics themselves. She showed them humanity's true plan, not merely technological advancement, but the guided evolution of multiple species toward a shared enlightenment. Each race had been subtly directed toward developing unique abilities and perspectives that, when combined, might stand a chance against the impossible enemy. Your people's mastery of quantum harmonics, Chen told Kex Thor, the Meridian's consciousness-sharing technology, the Zextay's dimensional mathematics. None of these developments were random. We've been preparing you all for this moment. The darkness at the galaxy's edge grew visibly larger. Time was running out. Humanity has maintained the barriers between realities for millions of years, Chen said. But we can't hold them back alone anymore. Will you join us? Not as subordinates, but as equals in the greatest fight this universe has ever faced. As Kex Thor looked at the representatives of 30 species, former rivals now united by a common threat, he realized that humanity's greatest achievement wasn't their technology. It was their patience in guiding younger races toward the wisdom needed to use such power responsibly. The time for secrets was over. The real test was about to begin. The combined fleet of 30 species assembled at humanity's calling hung in the void above Earth, their ships arranged in a perfect geometric pattern that somehow strengthened the fabric of space-time itself. What had seemed like primitive human satellites now revealed themselves as nodes in a vast dimensional network. High Commander Valthera of the Zextai watched as her crew interfaced their quantum harmonics with human technology that operated on principles they were only beginning to understand. Around them, various species contributed their unique abilities to the greatest collaboration in galactic history. The dimensional barrier is failing faster than predicted, Sarah Chen announced from the fleet's command center, a space that existed simultaneously across all ships. The very dark has evolved beyond our original containment protocols. Holographic displays showed the darkness consuming entire star systems at the galaxy's edge. But it wasn't simple destruction. Reality itself was being unmade, leaving behind spaces where the laws of physics simply ceased to exist. All species, initiate convergence protocol, Chen ordered. The fleet's formation began to shift, guided by calculations so complex they required the combined processing power of 30 civilizations. The Meridian's consciousness-sharing network activated, linking the minds of all participants. Valthera felt the thoughts of countless beings flow through her consciousness, each species contributing their unique perspective of reality. Humanity has maintained multiple layers of technology, Chen explained as the fleet moved into its final configuration. What you saw as our primitive achievements were merely the surface. Our true advances weren't in machines, but in understanding the fundamental nature of consciousness and reality. Through the shared mental link, Valthera witnessed humanity's journey, how they had achieved technological singularity millions of years ago, only to discover that pure technological advancement was a dead end. The real power lay in the synthesis of multiple species' perspectives and abilities. The very dark exists beyond conventional reality, Chen continued. They can't be fought with ordinary weapons or energy, but consciousness, properly unified and focused, can rewrite the laws of physics themselves. The darkness approached, tendrils of unreality reaching toward their position. Various species contributed their unique abilities, Zextai quantum harmonics, Meridian psychic networks, Vex tree-dimensional mathematics, all coordinated through humanity's impossible technology. This is what we've been preparing for, Chen said. not just advancing technology, but evolving consciousness itself. The very dark feeds on singular perspectives of reality. Only a unified multidimensional consciousness can stand against them. The fleet's formation began to generate its own space-time distortion, creating a lens through which multiple dimensions could be perceived simultaneously. Through their shared consciousness, Valthera understood humanity's true achievement, not the creation of advanced technology, but the patient cultivation of 30 unique species whose combined perspectives could perceive and affect reality in ways no single species could achieve alone. "They're here," Chen announced as the darkness reached their position. But instead of the terror Valthera expected, she felt a strange sense of completion. 30 species, once separated by their limited perspectives, now functioned as a single entity greater than the sum of its parts. Through their combined consciousness, she finally understood why humanity had hidden their true nature for so long. This moment required more than advanced technology. It required 30 species who had developed wisdom alongside their power. As the very dark engaged their unified fleet, the greatest battle in galactic history began. But it wasn't a battle of weapons or energy. It was a clash between fundamentally different ways of perceiving and affecting reality itself. And humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their ancient technology, but the unified consciousness they had spent millions of years carefully cultivating among the younger races. At the edge of known space, reality itself trembled. The combined fleet of 30 species, their consciousness unified through humanity's ancient technology, faced the encroaching darkness that threatened to unmake existence itself. The very dark had finally revealed their true form, vast entities that existed in dimensions beyond conventional understanding. Through their shared consciousness, Admiral Valthera experienced the battle from 30 different perspectives simultaneously. The Meridians perceived it as a symphony of quantum frequencies, the Zextae as complex mathematical equations, the Vex tree as patterns of dimensional force, and humanity. Humanity somehow comprehended all these viewpoints at once. "This was always your greatest strength," Sarah Chen's thoughts echoed through their unified mind. "Not your technology, but your ability to understand and synthesize different ways of perceiving reality." The very dark struck, not with energy or matter, but with fundamental alterations to the laws of physics themselves. Entire sectors of space began to unravel as reality was rewritten according to alien geometries that shouldn't exist. But the unified fleet responded in kind. 30 species, their unique perspectives and abilities combined through humanity's dimensional technology, began to affect reality on the same fundamental level. The Meridians' consciousness sharing formed the foundation, amplified by Zextae quantum harmonics, structured through Vex tree dimensional mathematics, all coordinated through humanity's impossible machinery. "Now you understand," Chen communicated as their combined consciousness expanded, "why we hid our true nature, why we guided your development so carefully. This battle couldn't be won by a single species, no matter how advanced. It required multiple valid perspectives of reality itself." Through their link, Valthera witnessed humanity's true history, how they had achieved technological singularity millions of years ago, only to discover that technology alone was insufficient, how they had encountered the very dark and realized that defeating them required something more fundamental than mere power. The darkness pressed closer, reality warping around them. But where individual species would have been overwhelmed, their unified consciousness held firm. Each race contributed their unique understanding of existence, creating a perspective so complex and complete that it could directly affect the fundamental nature of reality. "This was your purpose," Chen revealed as their unified being continued to evolve. "Not to serve under humanity, but to transcend your individual limitations. To become something greater together than any of us could be alone." The very dark recoiled as they encountered something they had never faced before, a unified consciousness that could perceive and manipulate reality on their level. The combined fleet wasn't just fighting, they were rewriting the laws of physics themselves, establishing new rules that the darkness couldn't simply unmake. Reality stabilized. then began to push back against the invaders. The very dark, for the first time in their eternal existence, faced an opposition that could match their fundamental nature. We were first, Chen shared through their link, but not to rule. We were first so we could guide others toward this moment, toward transcendence. The unified consciousness of 30 species continued to expand, pushing the darkness back, not through destruction, but through fundamental transformation. They weren't erasing the very dark. They were rewriting the very rules that allowed them to exist. As their victory became apparent, Valthera finally understood humanity's greatest achievement. They hadn't just advanced technology or consciousness. They had guided 30 unique species to a point where they could transcend their individual limitations and achieve something unprecedented. A unified multidimensional consciousness that could shape the very nature of reality itself. The darkness retreated, not defeated but transformed. The combined fleet maintained their unity, their shared consciousness now permanent, a new form of existence that was neither purely physical nor purely energy, but something beyond both. This is humanity's true legacy. Chen communicated as their unified being stabilized, not as conquerors or rulers, but as guides toward a greater existence. We were first so we could help others become more than we ever could alone. The galaxy would never be the same. The younger races had not just survived, they had transcended, achieving a state of existence that no single species could have reached alone. And humanity's masquerade as primitives was revealed for what it truly was, not deception, but patience, guiding the galaxy's children toward their ultimate potential. In the void where the very dark had been, a new form of existence took shape, one that encompassed all perspectives, all possibilities, all ways of understanding reality. The first chapter of galactic history was ending. Something far greater was about to begin.